So obviously you guys are being really, there's not many of us, but we are together, we are fucking strong. And you guys are being really warm, which is great, because when it's a small audience, you need those laughs. So please give a mighty, mighty roar. Put your hands together at the front. Woo!
I just had a horrible moment before I came on the stage where I was like I was at primary school. I remember once I was at primary school and it was my birthday, and I'd been given a toy gun for my birthday, and they made me get up, as was the custom in Yorkshire, to the front of the stage. Woo! Yorkshire! We got everyone from Yorkshire in the audience! Yeah! It's like fucking 8 people. That's really weird. So yeah, they made me get up at the front, and the whole school sings your happy birthday. And my sister, as I walked past her, went, "Many happy returns of the day," as quietly as she could. And everyone sang me happy birthday. And as I walked off stage, my sister went, as I walked from the front of the assembly hall, my sister went, "Your flies." And I'd just been like 8 years old with my flies. So just before I came on there, I was like, "Oh, have I? No, I'm okay. I'm okay. My penis is in my knickers." I was just handed this by Vicky Kember, which she said, "You can have this. It's a picture of a baby." I don't know why she's giving it to me, but it's very pixelated. Is that a baby that's been born, or is it what? Is this the scan?
I don't know whose baby it is.
Wow, it's an anonymous. That looks like an actual baby. Oh, from a distance. So to you guys, that looks like a normal baby. Close up, looks like it could be one of those baby scans. I'll start my actual material now, probably. So we're all here to kind of say well done to Rick Mail for being just fucking awesome, aren't we? Let's hear it. A man who used to do this as an actual job. This was his actual. He was a comedian. This was his actual thing. It's funny how your eyes become accustomed to these lights, and now I can see you, both of you. But he did this as an actual job. That was his thing, and he was, how fortunate that someone gets to not only be a genius but do comedy for an actual job. Because you've got to learn a craft, haven't you? You've got to know. You've got to, it's. I used to get careers advice. I've done a lot of jobs in my life, but I used to get careers advice from. Weirdly, from this group of geriatric boot menders and clockmakers, load of old cobblers. Oh, yeah, plenty of them. Well, actually, one more joke like that, and then everything else isn't funny. So, enjoy. We're in it together for at least 5 minutes. I have done a lot of jobs. That's just into my wife. I've done a lot of different jobs. I used to hold up a golf sale sign. You see those guys outside the road flipping the guy, that was me. Until I got replaced by a pole. That's right, that's the roar, the fucking roar. Thank you. That's me done. No, that's, yeah, happy times. I've done a lot of jobs. I used to work as a bouncer. I never worked as a golf sale, that's a lie. That one was a lie. This is true, I used to work as a bouncer for 7 years. And I remember one time, I know you're looking at me thinking I just look like an over-familiar dad at a barbecue, but I did. I believe I was actually a bouncer at one point. And it probably works in advertising, basically a cunt. So I was a bouncer, and I remember this one time, this rude boy walks up to me and like, where did they get you from? Mothercare. And I went, he's got a gun! And it turned out it wasn't a gun, it was his fingers. But should there be a firearms-based emergency, I would be the first to react. So I think I know who won that situation. I've had a lot of jobs. I used to be a dairy products distribution officer, or a milkman, as they insisted on calling me. Good job, that. Loads of perks. You get a company car. So it's really good on mileage, very environmentally friendly. And it's electric, and the kids fucking loved it. Couldn't get enough of it. The school run, come on kids, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, time to go the school run. Screaming all the way, fucking hated it. That was a lie. That was a lie. I haven't got kids. Never worked as a milkman. So sorry about that. I'm really coming to pieces. It's just one sentence is a lie, one's the truth. I used to. I did work in a shop. That's the truth. The bouncer thing was real. The milkman was a lie. The golf sale was a lie. The shop's real. Worked in a shop. And I fucking hated working in a shop. And I think the main reason is just because you're part of this corporate monolith. You're part of the capitalist cycle. You're a cog in the machine. And I hate it. It was up in Sunderland, and worked in the shop, and you just have these waddling, cadaverous, zombified hordes of the undead on their capitalist rampage, consuming and lurching. Hello? Or goodbye? Hello or goodbye? Please tell me.
Hello.
Hello! You've got a folding bike!
I do have a folding bike.
Congratulations!
Thank you very much.
Cool. So, yeah, worked in the shop, and just the people, just the oh, can we, excuse me, have you got this in it? Have you got this for 6 to 8-year-olds? Excuse me. Do you have a toilet we can use? Does it look like we've got a toilet you can use? What does it say about the door, mate? Early Learning Centre. Fuck off! Yeah, I wasn't Sunderland, I just like doing a Geordie accent. It's lies. It's all lies. Not only is my set built up of lies, so is retail. I really feel like it's made of mediocrity and bullshit and lies, and I hate being a part of that. Just waddling around, being not only as a person who worked in a shop, but as a retailer myself. I say retailer, I mean consumer. As a person who walks through shops, being told what to look at by my wife. Soft furnishings department. If you can have a geographical nemesis, I fucking hate the places. Absolutely, just full of things that you not only don't need, but you didn't even know existed until you realised you didn't even know what they were or not need them at all. I just don't need a toad-shaped boot scraper. I don't need a French bulldog-shaped clock. Although I do have quite a few. I think William Morris, the Victorian transcendentalist and preeminent writer and designer, I learned that bit off Wikipedia, said the words, "Nothing useless can be truly beautiful." Nothing useless can be truly beautiful. And that begs the question, what are the Kardashians? Which, I appreciate that's a Kardashians joke. It's not particularly, it's not very adventurous. I suppose probably quite a lot of people have done Kardashian stuff, but they really are fucking functionless. They don't do anything. Especially the queen one, the main one, Kim Kardashian, has absolutely no fucking function, but yet is, not reviled, is glorified the world over for being the most beautiful human that ever existed. And I wonder whether you could flip the statement, "Nothing useless can be truly beautiful," on its head and say, could something truly useful, but that is very ugly, still be amazing? And weirdly, her husband, Kanye West, has a face like a condom full of dog food and is very fucking good at producing music, arguably, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, things that have form but no function, I have a problem with. I find very difficult to deal with. Things that are beautiful and do literally fuck all. Things like curtain tiebacks. Have you heard of? Does everyone know what curtain tiebacks are? So I only realised recently that not everybody aspires to the accolade of owning a fucking curtain tieback. Like in my life, they're the highest priority. Like in a chick, they're the biggest thing. They're like the main fucking thing. Curtain tiebacks. So for anyone who doesn't know what they are basically a piece of string, jewelled string, an ethereal piece of nothing that you use to tie your curtains open with, because they might spontaneously close like no curtains have ever done in the history of fucking time ever! Because curtains, they nailed that on the first draft. Curtains, they were like, yeah, just fucking, they literally nailed it. They did nail it up onto they were like, yeah, that's cool, they'll never, unless you live on a very steep slope or on very choppy waters, your curtains, that's a fucking, we're on curtains 1.0 and that still works perfectly. They nailed that shit. So curtain tiebacks just have no function. I mean, you could, I guess at a pinch, you could, they're like that high up in the middle. You could MacGyver a wanking noose out of one. We've all been there, right, guys? Yeah, with an orange in your mouth. What is that? What's the deal with that? What's the deal with putting an orange in your mouth and hanging yourself while wanking? Men die every year. Forget Oxfam, where's the fucking charity for orange mouth wanking death situations? And also, why is it in orange every time? Michael Hutchins, various other humans. What's the deal with orange? Have they not read the book Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit? There are other objects. You could do the Maltesers. If you're going to go out in a fruity way, mix it up a bit, you know what I mean? But yeah, you could MacGyver a wanking noose out of a, yeah, fine. Scatter cushions as well, also beautiful, fucking meaningless. Put them on your bed, the moment you want to get into bed, they're called scatter cushions because you just clip the focus off the bed, scatter them everywhere, they don't do anything. At a push again, you could fashion them into a kind of wanking nest. Lounging like little Lord Fauntleroy. Although Lord Fauntleroy was 8, so that's probably not an appropriate use of it. But, yeah, that's, speaking of wanking, normal. Speaking of wanking, I was watching some porn the other day. You know when you watch some really, really ugly porn, like really horrible porn, that you just go, oh my god, I can't believe this is horrendous. It was really, really bad, and not only was it bad, but the soundtrack was the thing that made it worse. It was so abysmal. It was like having your ears punched off your head. And after a while, I realised I was watching a Miley Cyrus music video because she's diabolical. So I'm going to leave you very soon. Thank you for your patience. I've got one last little story, retail-based. Which is that my wife was dragging me around the fucking soft furnishings department in Marks and Spencer's recently, and so I'm trailing behind her like a little lost puppy dog, and I saw this other guy with his wife, and I was like, oh, we can do that thing. The guy that like, ooh, hey, ooh, what a waste of a day, kind of, sharing a moment. And I made eye contact, and I was like, oh, and he just looks at me totally blankly, nothing going on. I was like, this is weird. Come on, dude, we're sharing a thing, me and you do, it's male bonding. Oh, women, retail. He just kept his frozen, this blank expression on his face, just staring at me. Come on, I was starting to get a bit angry, to be honest, and I went, me and you, man, we're in it together, brother. Never leave a man behind. This is mental, right? And it turns out you can get arrested for beating up a mannequin. Thank you very much. I'm Matt Bell. You've been wonderful. I'll see you again.